Nikita.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 12th Annual New York Game Awards. It's so great to be back live and in person. My name is Makita Byfield. I'm a senior intern at the New York Video Game Critics School, and this year I'm helping to co-host the show. Thank you. Right now, I would like to introduce the creator of the New York Awards and the New York Video Game Critics Circle, Mr. Harold Goldberg.
Makita, thank you so much. You're going to be great tonight. You already are. So this is our 12th award show and our 10th live show. And I am so glad, we're all glad to be back with a live audience. And you look so good in person, man. It's so good to see you in person. Not quite 8K. That's probably because I've got some smudges in my glasses. But, thank you for being here. Right now, I want to introduce your friend and mine, the former president of Nintendo of America, the man as beloved as Mario, as honorable as Link, as delightful as Kirby. It's Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Thanks, Harold. So the love in this room is phenomenal. And as Harold said, it is just so great to be back. You know, this was a great year for games and a great year for me personally as well. Disrupting the Games published, and I have to say, it was challenging to write. Thank you. Thank you, Phil Spencer, for that applause. You know, the book was challenging to write, and I appreciate all of you who read or listened to me read it, you know, because for gamers, a book is like an RPG with 0 dialogue choices, right? So for those of you who put yourselves out and read the book or listened to it, I really appreciate it. And thank you for coming on my quest with me. It was really worthwhile when it made the bestseller list, so it was phenomenal.
It was an awesome book, Reggie. And thanks for the early copy. And thank you so much for writing about our nonprofit in Disrupting the Game. You said joining our board was the perfect role for me.
It was, and it is. You know, and Harold, that's why we're here. You know, yes, there are going to be many awards given, and we'll recognize many deserving game developers. And Phil Spencer is here to receive our Andrew Yoon Legend Award. Woo! You know, but we're really here to talk about the help the Circle gives to underserved and homeless students.
That's right, Reggie. It's important that we all come together to help people of diverse backgrounds. And here's a fact. Only 2% of those employed by game studios are Black. With our programs, we mentor students to write game narrative and games journalism. And we have them interview top developers on YouTube and the like.
You know, we give them paid internships, college scholarships, and pave the way for really significant opportunities and internships at game studios, like our partnership with Rockstar Games. Those internships will lead to jobs. So check the QR code on the program that you were given when you came in. Please take the opportunity to make a small donation.
We have so much in store for you tonight. Trailer premieres, a trip to the metaverse to find Reggie, Devin Delaquanti from The Daily Show, our sought-after Journalism Award, and so much more. It's going to be such a great night. But let's start things off with Whitney Mears from Newsweek, Imad Khan from CNET, and Mike Andronico from CNN Underscored. They are here to introduce our Esports Award. So take it away, you fantastic trio.
Hey everyone. So, as competitive in-person events began opening back up, it was uncertain if the same storylines that had dominated esports would continue after the pandemic hiatus.
What we saw is that some players that pre-pandemic continue to do so in the wake of everything that happened. But what we didn't expect is that players that were in the shadow of the giants for so long finally stepped into the spotlight.
From fighting game champions, cementing their legacy, to rising League of Legends Valorant stars, reaching new heights, every player on this list left their mark on 2022. And the nominees for the Jolton Joe Best Esports Player of the Year are
Arslan Ash Sadiq, Brian Pancada Luna, Kim Deft QQ, Messiah Amsa Chikamoto, Alexander Simple Kostoliev, Yu Smurf Myonghwan,
Alright, so let's see.
And the winner is
Amsa.
I'm Amsa, a Super Smash pro player using the Yoshi, sponsored by the Booty Bootcamp, and I'm so happy to receive such a great award. And I'd like to say thank everyone involved in the New York Game Awards, and also thank my sponsors, my fans, and Smash communities. And last year, I won the Super Majors, the Big House 10, that was huge. And also I won 2 majors, like the Apex 2022 and the Scout World Tour. So I'm pretty get closer to get the best player in the world. So now, this year, my goal is becoming the #1 player in the world. And once again, thank you very much for your support.
All right, congrats. And now we have our awesome writers, Ronald Gordon and Isaac Espinoza. They've both stepped up big time to help out and mentor at not just 1, but 2 Bronx classes. Ronald and Isaac, take it away.
This thing on? Fantastic. So, here's the thing. There's something so fascinating about mobile gaming. To be quite frank, it's astounding how people continue to innovate the mobile game scene on something as small as our tiny little phones right here. Something that fits so small in our pockets. It's almost as if we're just creating more reasons to use our phones for anything else that isn't a phone. Do you use your phone to call anymore?
I'm supposed to. Mostly I just text, and then it's... Well, it was back to Angry Birds when it was on the App Store, but now it's Cats and Soup. But those aren't on our list now, are they?
They are not.
Speaking of our list, here are the nominees for the A-Train Award for Best Mobile Game.
Desta, The Memories Between, Marvel Snap, Point P, Wildflowers.
And the award goes to, let's see, and Marvel Snap.
Oh, snap! Thank you, guys. This means a lot to us. Thank you to our amazing partners at Marvel and Newverse for believing in us and investing in us. We couldn't be here without you. Thank you to the New York Press Circle for honoring us with this. It means a lot. We're a really small studio, and things like this go a long way to giving us hope for what we want to continue investing in for the future. Thank you to the amazing team at Second Dinner who can't be here with me. I'm really grateful to be here representing you. We put our blood, sweat, and tears and love into this game, and we're so glad you guys enjoy it. And thank you to the fans and the content creators that give us feedback and support us. Without you and going on this journey with us, we couldn't make this game. And personally, thank you to my family for supporting me and loving me through this. It's always hard making games. I know all you guys know that. So thank you. See you multiple.
Congratulations. And now for our Central Park Zoo Award for Best Kid Game. This is the game that delights children and is the worst enemy of all parents trying to manage screen time. And so we have a special presenter for this award. It's 12-year-old Tani Adewami. He is the wonderful chess prodigy who won the New York State Chess Championship at age 8. 8. He is also the author of My Name is Tani, and I Believe in Miracles, the amazing true story of one boy's journey from refugee to chess champion. Tani.
I say the winner, right?
You just say and the nominees.
Okay. And the nominees are
Harmony's Odyssey. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Mario and Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. Moss, Book 2. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Splatoon 3. Tunic.
and the winner is Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Hello, everyone. PJ from Nintendo. Kirby. Kirby surprised everyone this year when he swallowed a car. But we were really surprised as well with just how much love the game received by both kids and everyone. So we're highly honored that each of you took this journey with Kirby this year. And we'd like to, on behalf of the developers at HAL Laboratory and Nintendo, who worked on the game and the title Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Thank you for the award.
Congrats, PJ and Nintendo. That was an awesome game. Next up is our Freedom Tower Award for Best Remake, because we all make time to play the best games again, well, in theory anyway. And if you love a remake, you either have to play these games or see pretty much any movie Hollywood puts out. To present the award, here's Sumit Sarkar from Polygon. Sumit.
Before I start, I just want to give a shout out to Sarah Clemens, my colleague who I usually present this award with. She couldn't make it tonight, but we see Sarah. We love you. Sarah and I have been presenting this category for a number of years now, and I love it because it's just very video gamey. Remakes are, as Harold said, remakes are pretty common in Hollywood, but I think it would feel a little strange to have a single year in which a number of great ones were released, enough to fill a whole category. In games, games are unique, and like other kinds of remakes, video games do. They're designed to introduce old experiences to new audiences, but thanks to the ever-advancing technology with which games are made, remakes also have the power to deliver more fully realized versions of the original creative vision behind a particular game. These 5 remakes did all that and much more. So the nominees are
Atari 50, the anniversary celebration. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, Reunion. Life is Strange, Remastered Collection. Live Alive. The Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe.
all right. And the New York Game Award goes to The Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe.
An award? For me? Well, I'm truly honored. In fact, I'd rather win Best Remake than any of these other little piddling categories. Oh, sure, it's easy to be loved when you've made something shiny and new, but to excavate a piece of trash from the dumpster of yesterday and trick people into liking it again now, that's what art is all about. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was some very wry British humor. I think I was just 8 years old when the Stanley Parable was originally released. And for context, I'm turning 20 this year. So it looks really cool, and I'm definitely to check it out tomorrow. Now, here's a New York Game Award that appreciates the beautiful art and wondrous environment in game. It's the Statue of Liberty Award for Best World. Presenting the award is Dan Ackerman from CNET.
Woo! Dan.
So companies recently have spent a couple of years, many billions of dollars trying to build metaverse-style worlds where video games have been doing this since the beginning. online worlds, fictional universes that last from generation to generation. World building is very important to creating a good narrative, which in a lot of cases, game. So the nominees are...
Elden Ring.
Just say an A. You're doing great.
God of War Ragnarok. Horizon Forbidden West. Pentiment. Pokemon Legends Arceus.
All right, and the winner is, in what might be the first of many, Elden Ring.
Hi, I'm Agent Chen, Senior Brand Manager at Bandai Namco.
And I'm Milad Sadat, Director of Communications here.
What an honor. I think the folks at From Software are going to be really proud of this one given the field of competition.
Some real sunk hours in this category, right?
Sunk hours, but I think no regrets. Maybe some bruises from the tarnish that braved the lands between. But on behalf of From Software and Bandai Namco, thank you so much to the New York Video Game Critics Circle for this amazing honor.
Thank you.
I am the witch, Rani. I accept this award as it was written in the stars. My thanks tarnished. This is mine.
Well, that was a surprise. Thank you. So it's no secret that I love old 8-bit games like The Legend of Zelda. It brings back great memories for me. And now we have a world premiere trailer for 8-Bit Adventures 2 from Critical Games. It releases in 2 weeks on January 31st. Let's check it out.
That game looks awesome, and it even looks better on the big screen for some reason. And so some of you were lucky enough to get codes when you checked in, so let us know how you like it.
So, indie games always gives us some really new ideas, gameplay, and narrative. Personally, I enjoyed reviewing Wildflowers and writing about immortality for NewYorkGameCritics.com. Now, to present our Off-Broadway Award, Give me 1 second, folks. To present our Off-Broadway Award for Best Indie is our journalism chair, Nick Capozzoli and Michelle Earnhardt.
I'll take that. I'll leave you that one.
Perfect.
Okay. So, while the AAA space is often where ideas are polished to a fine sheen, the indie scene is where those ideas are born, and often where they're at their most raw and forthright.
This year's crop of nominees have some standout examples of the ingenuity in the indie community, from Neon White's speedrunning style to Vampire Survivors' mashup of twin-stick shooters and casino-style dopamine rushes.
You think it's too late for them to change the name from Vampire Survivors to Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I certainly didn't think my Steam Deck could render that many skeletons without exploding. At any rate, the nominees for the Off-Broadway Award for Best Indie Game are...
Immortality. Neon White. Turn to Monkey Island. Vampire Survivors. Wordle. Wildflowers.
And the winner is Vampire Survivors, aka Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Greetings, New York Game Award friends. It is I, the director of Vampire Survivors, game made by the wonderful souls at Pungle. We'd like to extend our deepest gratitude to the fans of Vampire Survivors from around the world, valiant warriors who have spent hours trying to survive, as well as to all of our partners and the kind people at the New York Video Game Critics Circle. We hope you have a fantastic evening, and we look forward to seeing you in the next run.
Congratulations, that's so 90s, right? Next is one of my favorite categories, the Herman Melville Award for Best Writing. And George R.R. Martin even did some writing for Elden Ring. Explains why that game is so hard to finish. Award is Carolyn Pettit from Kotaku. Carolyn, come on up.
All right, hey folks. I think when I first played The Legend of Zelda and saw those famous words appear on the screen, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this," with all their mythic import, I knew that writing could be essential to the way that games sort of resonate in our minds and live on in our hearts. So it's done me a lot of good in the 12 or 13 years since The Legend of Zelda came out, something like that, to see writing in games become more and more recognized as not something incidental to games, to the the level design and the mechanics and all the other wonderful disciplines that go into making games, but as something that could be as central to our experience of games as everything else. And I think this year's nominees, are a particularly strong group. They demonstrate how fantastic writing can imbue a wonderful world with a sense of history and mystery. They show how great writing can a character who's a collection of amazing combat abilities and pathos and depth, and they show how games can simultaneously transport us to somewhere totally new, while also speaking very much to some of the most urgent concerns of the moment that we're living in right now. This year's nominees are
As Dusk Falls. God of War Ragnarok. Immortality. Norco. Monkey Island. Road Warden.
and the award goes to Ragnarok.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Bruno Velasquez. I'm the animation director on God of War Ragnarok, and I have the honor and privilege to be here tonight to accept this award on behalf of the writing team for Sunny Santa Monica. And I'd like to thank Matt, director, as well as Rich Robert for our lead writing this amazing. I really thank everybody for joining us on the journey that Kratos and Atreus took across the 9 realms. So on behalf of the team, thank you very much.
Woo! Congratulations. You know, this show takes a lot of work to create. And we started working on it back in February of last year. And it was easier then because I still hadn't found a PS5 at that point. But here, with this all-important thank yous, is New York Video Game Critics Circle founder and my good friend, Harold Goldberg.
Thanks, Reggie. Thanks so much for being here. So this year was actually a rough one for me. In July, I fell while working on my house in the mountains. And a helicopter flew me to Albany, where I found I'd broken my pelvis in 3 places, had a brain bleed, a concussion, bruised shoulder, and arm and wrist so bad it grossed out the nurses daily. Plus, there were other things wrong. For a while, I didn't think I'd make it. And weeks later, I still couldn't close my hand enough to play games. And I had to learn how to walk again. But I'm pretty much better now and thankful. I am so thankful to be here. And the one silver lining is that the injuries like that and a helicopter ride are the closest I'll ever get to feeling like a character in Grand Theft Auto. And I'm very thankful that our work as a nonprofit was able to continue without a hitch. But first, I want to thank Helen Pfeffer for her help in getting me through it, helping me to walk with that walker and all that tough stuff. Thank you, Helen. And I want to thank those who have supported this nonprofit this year and all our work. Rockstar Games, Google, MOM, Devolver Digital, Take-Two, Nintendo, Bethesda Software, Catherine and Jeffrey Sora, Mike Williams. Also, Rob Smith, one of our producers last year, died recently. And Rob was a longtime games writer and an expert with video. His book about LucasArts was stellar. So I will miss you, my friend. We all will. And thanks to John Azzalona, our superb creative director. He's back there now. You can tell him by the awesome bald head he has. Victor Kalagianis and just our fast-thinking, long-time directors. Cherie Smith and Mike Andronica, who are stage managers. Cherie. Nick Capizzoli and our Journalism Award team. Mentors Isaac Espinoza and Ronald Gordon. They are awesome. Mark Mayer, Ted Howden, everyone at SVA Theater, our excellent team at Zebra Partners, and yeah, they did such a great job. All of our valued critics, writers, interns, students, educators, and volunteers. And thank you, our fans, too. Thanks. Thank you all so much. And now I want to introduce Ann Del Castillo, the Commissioner of the New York City Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. And everyone at MOM has been really supportive of our work with underserved and homeless students. Ann, can you take the stage, please?
Good evening. I want to thank you, Harold and Reggie and Makeda, for hosting such an awesome evening. But I also just want to thank you in particular, Harold. I'm very happy to see you tonight. And I want to thank you for your incredible vision for video games in New York City. I want to congratulate you also on 12 years. It's fantastic. I also want to congratulate all of tonight's nominees and honorees, and really just all of you for being here tonight. It is a thrill to be in person to celebrate digital games with all of you. This industry that thrives at the intersection of media, technology, art, education, and entrepreneurship. New York City has a rich history with the games industry, as probably most of you know, from hosting Compare, where I myself spent quite a bit of time. While my mom would go grocery shopping, I would be there playing Street Fighter or whatever. I was not in the competitive games, though. New York City is also served as the location Nintendo's first ever global retail store. Of course, it has also served a variety of commercially successful game series. And so we're proud that New York City has really been a place for digital games can call home. As some of you may know, some of you might know us originally as the New York City Film Office. But our mission has expanded over the last few years, includes support for New York City's creative economy, beyond film and television, music, theater, advertising, publishing, live performance, digital media. These sectors that represent $150 billion in economic output and close to 500,000 jobs. I think the pandemic really showed us how critical these creative industries are to the New York City economy. When theaters and live performance shut down, New York City shut down. Restaurants weren't doing any business, retailers weren't seeing any walk-in business. But what we also saw during that time was the critical importance of video games. They kept us connected and engaged with community. I know that's not news for the people in this room, but I really think it really reframed the dialogue around digital games. And so in 2021, my office commissioned the first ever study of the games industry here in New York City. And through that study, we found that the industry supports 7,600 jobs and $2 billion in economic output for the city. And so Mayor Adams, in his first year, last May, announced steps to transform New York City into a global hub for digital games. We made a $2 million investment in the first ever bachelor's degree program in digital game design at City College of New York City. We also established the first ever Digital Games Industry Council to ensure that we have a sustained ongoing dialogue between the industry and City Hall, so that as we're shaping policy, as we're doing economic development, that digital games has a seat at that table. And then some of you might be familiar with the Made in New York mark, which for many years was what branded our film and television production industry here. And so we have now extended that mark to digital games. And so we're really proud to celebrate Made in New York digital games. And we'll soon be launching a marketing program which will offer free promotion for those digital games that are made here in New York City. I'm especially proud to see a number of the games tonight that have been nominated are made in New York. So just a special shout out to those. I won't name you because I don't want to be showing preferential treatment on them. We are particularly proud to support the New York Video Games Critics Circle, their internship program, which works with Bronx Works. This is a program, as we've heard, that connects students to industry professionals and trains them to write about and review games and also learn about game development. This work in the Bronx, coupled with the work that the Critics Circle does to provide scholarships, social justice journalism classes, and paid internships to underserved and homeless high school students, is really crucial to creating opportunities and advancing diversity in the industry, and I thank you for it. The commitment of the Critics Circle really showed during the pandemic when they pivoted and figured out a way to continue the work virtually at a time when the community really, really needed it. And this work was documented in an Emmy-nominated public service awareness series that highlighted organizations in each of the 5 boroughs that changed course during the COVID-19 crisis to support their communities. The video that focuses on the Critics Circle really traces their work to bring games and journalism to underserved communities through internships and other events programming. And so I think we're gonna show a bit of it here, so take a look. Thank you.
The New York Video Game Critics Circle is a group of 40 critics and paid interns who come together to work in the world of video games. We work up here in the Bronx primarily to bring games and journalism to underserved communities.
When you're going through a video game, you're experiencing that story for yourself. Video games can kind of give that level of storytelling that some books can't really match.
We want kids to have fun, but we also want them to think about what's going on in the game, what the narrative like, what the art is like, what went on in the game creator's mind to move you through a level or move you through a chapter in a game.
I think the pandemic in general has really forced us to be more creative and strategic. Bronx was one of the hardest hit areas. It has been challenging to find housing opportunities. School attendance and remote learning in general has been a huge transition for us in the family shelter.
Social isolation, right? They're away from their school community as well, their own peers, their own family members potentially. All the typical traumas and circumstances that our families were typically experiencing were exacerbated during this pandemic.
This has been wonderful for families to just keep them engaged.
Since the pandemic began, we've had about 10 interns who write reviews for us, help us with social media. We also put on every year the New York Game Awards, and that is about 400, 500,000 people watching us online.
There are so many jobs in the gaming industry these days. Writing, drawing, musical, directory jobs. Games are not a waste of time because they are investments in people's future.
We're like a family here. That is like my great honor to have a group of kids that feel comfortable and welcome at the New York Video Game Critics Circle.
Thank you, Commissioner. When VR has a unique purpose, it really takes you to another world. And tonight, we have a special world premiere. We'd like to take you to a classic venue from the past, Studio 54. Now, this disco was the playground of the famous, along with whomever the owners deemed cool, rich, or poor. And I even went there once.
So here's the backstory, Reggie. I'm sitting there finishing a mystery novel called The Skinny, and I'm happily nowhere and everywhere, and the time is like a beautiful nothing. I'm in the zone, and Steven, my publisher, writes to me about this cool VR experience from a guy in a small coastal town in Spain. It turns out that Jake Oñate has created a virtual Studio 54, and we're premiering it to the world right here tonight at the New York Game Awards. Here we go. But that's not all. So you can go to nygamecritics.com now and find out how to go to Altspace right after the show. So you can put on your glasses. And some of us from the Critics Circle will actually be there to hang with you. I think Scott Stein will definitely be there from CNET. And it'll be decorated in New York Game Awards fashion. And that's right, we're the only Game Awards show with an after party at Studio 54. And it will feel like the real Studio 54 to your eyes and ears, not to your nose, though. That's still illegal here and in the metaverse. Not only that, if you can find Reggie's book, Dan Ackerman's book, Jordan Miner's book, my book, and even our mascot cat, Laszlo, you can win Disrupting the Game by Reggie, and he'll sign it in your name too.
So the way this is going to work is the first person to send photos of all 4 books and Laszlo the cat will win the goods. And I'll sign my book for you. So go to nygamecritics.com after the show for more information.
That's so cool, and Harold, I have to meet that cat sometime, okay? So now, here's Devin Delaquenti, one of the best writers from The Daily Show, to present one of our best-loved features at the New York Game Awards. Devin?
Devin.
Hello, hi, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you all. Wow. Keep it going for yourselves, keep it going for your hosts. It's going so well. This is wonderful. It's such an honor to be back here with you all in person. It's a bunch of gamers and designers and tech reporters in an actual room, proving once again that Zuckerberg's metaverse is useless. If we're not using it, nobody is using it. We all wore the Nintendo Power Glove, and we're like, those headsets look stupid. It's a big week in gaming. Video games have now merged with prestige television with The Last of Us. I'm sure all of you watched it, right? On HBO, very exciting. This is just the beginning. I am ready for the HBO version of Kirby. Because he's been doing full frontal nudity for his entire career. He's ready for HBO. He spends all his time sucking and blowing. Get him on the White Lotus. It's gonna be so hot. Also, this year, we're going to get a new Rainbow Six game where you have to sneak classified documents out of Mar-a-Lago and Joe Biden's garage, so that's going to be fun. Look forward to that. But if I may be serious for a moment. 2022 was also a difficult year in gaming because so many important lives were lost, and so many of them were lost by me. In every single game I played, I lost so many lives. So let us once again together take a moment to honor those lives that I lost. Gone but not forgotten. I would love to stay longer, but like so many of you, I was just acquired by Microsoft for $3.8 million, so I'm now an Xbox exclusive. So back to your host. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Devin. You know, you never failed to make us laugh. And Elden Ring had so much fodder for your excellent sense of humor. I know I died many, many times playing that game.
And now it's time for one of our most coveted awards, the Knickerbocker Award for Best Journalism. It speaks to the importance of the written world in these digital worlds of fun adventure. Here to present it is Jordan Miner from PC Mag. Jordan's awesome book, round of applause for Jordan, that's okay. Jordan's awesome book, Video Game of the Year, comes out on June 11th.
I wasn't going to promote my book, but then they put it in this Virtua Studio 54 thing, so check that out and check it out. It's coming out. So as video games grow more diverse and mature, so too does coverage of video games. Great games journalism helps us deepen our understanding of games and the roles that they play in our lives. Our best games journalism nominees include thought-provoking criticism, riveting narratives and personal essays, investigations into broken working conditions, and one simple trick that workers can do to maybe improve some of those working conditions. I don't know. And the nominees are...
Vanessa Angelica Villarreal. Justin Heckert. Christian Donlan. Nicole Carpenter. People Make Games. Edwin Evans Thirlwell. Gabriel de la Puente.
And the winner is... Justin Heckert.
You know, I just got a PS5 and Elden Ring, and I was gonna go home and like start playing it, and I thought I'd done like a great job of avoiding all boss spoilers to it. But you know, I'd rather be here, and now I know. Anyway, thank you so much, Harold, Makita, Reggie. This is and the New York Video Game Critics Circle judges. This is such a humbling honor. For a journalist. I want to thank Claire Haworth at Vanity Fair magazine. She's the executive editor there. I can't believe that they let me publish a story about video games in Vanity Fair. And I'd like to thank my wife, and I want to just make sure I get this right, for nurturing the fact that video games are like a huge part of my life. And they always have been. So this story, briefly, is about a video game heist, but it's really kind of about why games are important to people. And you know, when they're stolen and taken away, it can be devastating. 13 years ago, or excuse me, when I was 13, my parents confiscated my Super Nintendo. And they did it because I think they thought it was stunting my development as a human being. And they also thought it was the reason I was failing Algebra 3. What I learned from it is that I hate algebra, and life is desolate without video games. And so, you know, this story is sort of about that. It's like what happens when you take away games from people. And, you know, I can't thank you guys enough. I can't believe I'm here. This is such an amazing honor. Thank you.
Congrats, Justin. And if you hadn't read Justin's story in Vanity Fair, look it up. It really is a must-read, as are all the nominees' work. But wait until after the awards to do it. Now, here's a fairly new award for us, and it centers around the importance of teachers in shaping the lives of underserved young people. And 2 years ago, we got a note via email from Ryan O'Callahan at Mott Hall 3, a middle school in the Bronx. And Ryan talked his principal into letting us mentor and giving college scholarships to these awesome 12 and 13-year-old future leaders. They love games and they love writing, and one really cool thing in addition to that is that they are so enthusiastic and so deadline conscious.
So I had the privilege of mentoring at Mod Hall 3 with the Circle. And I've witnessed the students' excitement there. And that's in large part due to Ryan O'Callaghan. So Ryan, please step up to the stage and accept our Elizabeth Jennings Graham Award for Best Educator of the Year.
All right, hello. I literally talk all day and I'm never nervous about it, but this is like a lot. Like, you don't go into teaching for awards. You also don't think like Reggie Fils-Aimé and Phil Spencer are going to look at you while you accept them. So, wow. Just, touching on what Harold had just said, I reached out because we were in the middle of a pandemic and I would drive into work. I would have 5 students in the room with me. The rest were at home. Screens were off, playing Fortnite. And I knew that. And I understood that because I was that kid. And to my colleagues, video games are the enemy. And I've always known that they're so much more than that. They're relationship builders. They're storytellers. My brother is here with me. Our whole relationship we've built through video games. My fiance is here with me. We met in the middle of the pandemic and used gaming to really foster our relationship. But no one saw that. And as I was driving to work, listening to the 800,000 podcasts I listened to, someone, I don't remember anymore, recommended a podcast with Reggie. And I was like, cool, I'll check that out. And then there was this guy, Harold, there. And I was listening, and I'm like, wow, they teach games. That's so cool. Wow, they're in the Bronx. I teach in the Bronx. I'll never be able to do anything like that. Yeah, you can. I reached out, and Harold was kind enough to respond to me. I did not know I was talking to Harold. I maybe would have been a little more nervous. But, after a lot of work and convincing, I was so lucky to have all of these people come into my classroom and really connect with my students in a way that I've, on small occasions, been able to connect, but have it really expanded and built this really wonderful community. So, I just want to thank everyone who's come into my room, and if I forget your name, I'm so sorry. But Isaac and Ronald and Harold, Reggie for coming in, Cherie for coming in a little while ago, Whitney as well. It's really been such an honor, and working with you has really revitalized what it means to be a teacher and an educator. And I can't wait to continue working with you. So thank you all so much.
Congratulations again, Ryan, and from the bottom of my heart, as a proud product of New York City's public school system, I just want to say thank you again. Now, it's time for a special trailer premiere. To premiere it, we have the thoughtful founder of New Challenger, which publishes dope games and culture. Welcome, Sean Alexander Allen.
Sean and I have known each other for a long time. Yeah, come on right up.
Hi. 4 years ago, we showed a trailer for a game that was very near and dear to my heart, Treachery and Beatdown City. We just started working with Open Mike Eagle, and he made a great track for it with Too Mellow and Inverse Phase. And then, and we were trying to release it in 2019. Then me and my wife's moms both passed. My kid was born. The pandemic started, but we were in CERT, so we were able to launch in March of 2020. And the LA Times called it the most relevant anti-racist game of 2020. And that was the next game he was going to be playing was the Last of Us 2, which was funny. That was so we're very proud of that game. It's just kind of funny that we were able to do that. It's 2 people, me and Nico Marcano we're from New York, and this game is very much about New York. And so over the last few years, we've been able to talk to folks who've been helping us get the game on some new platforms, as well as just to build it into, because it kind of ends on a point that we kind of ends on a cliffhanger, and we really wanted to finish it, but two people with very little money trying to do it in the city, that's just kind of sucking all of your money for rent and everything, was very hard. And now we've been able to up to about 5 programmers now, and we're back with Open Mike Eagle on to be here tonight, but he's got COVID-19, so he couldn't go, and he's responsible. So now we're back with Open Mike Eagle and Mega Ran to show a new trailer.
News Network proudly presents your #1 source for your current events. Of course, with a little of my commentary sprinkled in. Oh, we got a guest today. Before I bring him in, what's up? Beat down city still wildin'. Run by some tyrants whose lifestyle the foulest. Law enforcement so childish. Knowing it's wrong, but they won't do a damn thing about it. President's gone, a victim of kidnapping. We keep screaming and still nothing happens. Man, it's driving me insane, making me wanna up and suplex a train. Anyway, when we get back from the break, we gon' meet someone who has something important to say. So grab a little snack, pour something cold, and just chill to the next episode. Come on.
Revolution! Untelevised tonight, cause it's money bag news with the lies you like. Look at the bad news flying on a Friday night. If you call it bad news, you're right. I'm providing the coverage for once. Tired of rubbish, and my foes getting wise to the lies they publish. Conflicting interest, some conundrum. They run from the source where the funding comes from. You know what really grinds my gears? When the president disappears, ain't nobody saying shit is weird. We gon' make it all crystal clear with baseball, baskets, and spears. I got the key to this. Beat down, rage unlimited, reach down. I'm standing on mine to read down. We can read down, brawl to a pull apart. Mess around there, find out Boulevard.
So yeah, coming out to Xbox. Thank you, Xbox, for all the help you've been doing with me.
Big thanks to Sean Alexander Allen. Thank you. So, we showed you that excellent Studio 54 VR environment, and please go to nygamecritics.com to enter our contest. And now it's time for the best VR AR game. And presenting the award is Cherie Smith, the editor-in-chief of Laptop Magazine, and Toli Polanco from Tom's Guide.
Hey, Tony, take that mask off. We got a couple seconds to raw dog the air a little bit. Let's take advantage of it. All right, so let's get into it. 5 years of presenting this award. One thing is clear. Virtual reality is more than just a passing fad.
On the contrary, with nearly 15 million MetaQuest Pro 2 headsets sold, it's becoming a household item. You could even say it's as ubiquitous as a toaster.
And as we begin to explore mixed reality in the ever-evolving multiverse, whatever it is, because when I was at CES, there was a multiverse of TV, education, who knows what it is? We'll figure it out. VR continues to capture our imaginations and immerse us in our favorite games in ways that consoles and PC never can.
So whether you're learning to cook traditional ancient cuisine, pushing the limits of physics, or making a clockwork clone to yourself, VR has something for everybody.
So without further ado, the nominees for the Coney Island Dreamland Award for Best AR VR Game are...
Bone Lab. Lost Recipes. The Last Clockwinder.
And the winner is Moss Book 2.
Hi, I'm Shauna Sperry, the writing lead on Moss Book 2.
I'm Mike Felice. I'm the engineering director on Moss Book 2. Shauna and I are really, really grateful to be here, very excited. We're here to represent Polyarch and Moss Book 2 in accepting this award. Thank you.
Yeah, creating games and telling stories in VR is so special and unique because you're able to actually transport players to other worlds and meet characters face to face and form actual connections with those characters. And if those relationships feel real, it raises the stakes of everything in gameplay, which makes the highs of victory even sweeter, and the hard times may even just break your heart a little bit.
The feelings that Shauna's talking about is not unique to just VR. It's actually what we experience as developers in making games. It's the highs and lows as we develop. There's the ups and downs, the challenges that you face, and ultimately what we were experiencing you get to play and Moss in a way, you know? So it's almost like you're with us. And I just want to say that from a collaboration point, us coming together, we feel very proud of the game, and for the game to be so well received, we're just very thankful.
Yeah, so thank you so much to all of our friends and family at Polyarch who supported us through all of this, all of our partners and collaborators. A huge thank you to the players who we made this game for, and a sincere thank you to the New York Video Game Critics Circle. We really appreciate this incredible honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats, guys. And if you watched and listened carefully, there was some amazingly nuanced acting in games this year. And we even got to see the great Grace Zabriskie from Twin Peaks in a game. Now, here's the legendary Oscar-nominated Bill Plimpton, who's such a great animator, to present the Great White Way Award for Best Acting in a Game. Bill, come on up.
Thank you, Harold. I'm very excited to be here. Actually, I had to take a break from making my new film. It's called Slide. If it's Blazing Saddles was done in animation and Mel Brooks turned an animator, that's what it's going to be like. So I'm very excited about it. So let's look at the nominees for the Best Actor.
Alex Jarrett, Zoe Walker, As Dusk Falls. Ashley
Harold,
Birch,
what I did at the Spire.
Aloy, Horizon Forbidden West.
It didn't end the threat. It just slowed it down.
Be safe. Christopher Judge, Kratos, God of War Ragnarok.
But what if Loki going to Ironwood is the only way that...
Oh, Atreus. Grace Zabriskie, Eliza Varese,
Death.
The Quarry.
Death takes many forms. It could mean change, transition, transformation, often interpreted as a beacon for the...
Justice Smith,
Well,
Ryan
I know what you're
Erzaler,
fishing for, but
The
it's
Quarry.
actually super boring. If you must know, I needed some life advice.
Advice, huh?
Oh, whoa,
Manon Gage,
Ambrosio.
Marissa Marcel,
I had outsmarted the
Immortality.
Inquisition. In a few moments, I will be a kingdom away from this dungeon. My freedom came at a price. Will you pay the same, Ambrosio?
Very cool. And the winner is Manon Gage as Marissa Marcel in Immortality.
Hi, thank you so much for this huge honor. Thank you to the New York Video Games Critics Circle, and special shout out to Harold, who's always been such a supporter of the game. I love Immortality so much, and the feedback from everyone in this community about Immortality has been amazing. And this is a true honor, and an honor to be nominated alongside such great performances. And I'm just super thrilled. And yeah, thank you so much.
I'm not Manon Gage. She's a very good actress, but she's not this good. So I directed Manon in Immortality, so I can only concur with the Critics Circle that this is a very deserved win. If you played Immortality, you'll know that the game wouldn't even function, it wouldn't sing, it wouldn't fly without the depth of Manon's performance. So thank you, Manon, and thank you to all.
I want to cry tears of happiness. Manon is really the sweetest, kindest person ever, and I'm so proud of her for winning this award. I got to interview her in a series that we did about Immortality, so check out the website to see what I and all the other interns wrote. All that being said, we're moving on, because now it's time for all of you at home to reach into your pockets and donate. The New York Video Games Critics Circle was very helpful to my family and I when I was living in a shelter. And it's not just me. The Critics Circle has helped so many students over the years. And we really enjoy being interns. So please donate via the QR code so that they can continue to help others.
Thanks, Makeda. So we're so glad that you're working with us. This has been an honor to be up here on stage with you. You're doing a bang-up job.
Thank you.
And now, a hardworking student is about to get a $10,000 college scholarship. To hold one of our journalism in games competitions, we chose Ellis Prep in the Bronx because it has a great mix of smart students who recently came to New York City. And they arrived far and wide, from the Dominican Republic, Ghana, Yemen, Curacao, the Ivory Coast, Togo, and Guinea.
And that's right, Reggie. We want to thank the good people at Rockstar Games so much for making this scholarship possible. And please welcome to the stage educator Zach Hartzman and scholarship winner Yamin Tikpina.
Also a teacher, shout out to Ryan, who just got Educator of the Year. How's it going? So I'm a teacher at Ellis Preparatory Academy. It's a public school in the Bronx for newly arrived immigrants and English language learners. I met Harold here at the New York Game Awards back in 2019, and we've collaborated in a couple of things here and there. And back in September, he told me about this Rockstar Scholarship, where my students had the opportunity to write a video game narrative. If they were to create a game, what story would they tell? Or a video game review that focused on social justice issues. So I've had some students do a combination of these different projects, and I'm just so excited that my student, Yamin, who's heading off to college next year, who wrote a... Woo! He wrote a wonderful story about an immigrant girl moving from Togo to the United States and the experiences that she would be dealing with, which will be public soon, so everyone should definitely check it out. And yeah, for like educators, use games. I've been using games in my classroom for almost a decade now, and it's just made like my students having such a better time. My job is just so much more enjoyable when I'm using games. So definitely push for games and education as much as possible.
Also, I want to thank my teacher, Harold, and the video game circle. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Yoon. Now, show of hands who here loves music. Yeah, I know I sure do, and I especially love music in games. Here to present the Tin Pan Alley Award for Best Music in a Game is Stephen Totilo. Totilo?
Totillo.
Stephen Totilo from Axiom.
My man, Stephen Totillo.
Hi, thank you. Everybody here, I think, knows that video game music is essential, unless you are one of those heathens who turns the music down so that you can listen to a podcast while you play. I may or may not have written an article for Kotaku 10 years ago confessing that I did just that, and I may or may not have received many angry messages from video game composers about that article. But you'll see from the games that we're honoring tonight, there are basically two types of games that celebrate and showcase music in amazing ways. We have games that are adventures, where the music accentuates the emotions that you feel as you play, the feelings of happiness or nervousness or even sadness. Other games are from that great lineage of Beatmania, DDR, Guitar Hero, Elite Beat Agents, and other great rhythm games. These are games where the music literally makes you move, makes your fingers hit the buttons, move the mouse, in ways that just make the game all the more fun. So the nominees are
Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Metal Hellsinger, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, Trombone Champ,
And the Tin Pan Alley Award for Best Music in a Video Game goes to Metal Hellsinger.
Hello, we're Niklas and Avira, also known as Two Feathers, and we're the composers for Metal Hellsinger. A big thank you for awarding us with the Tin Pan Alley Award for Best Music at the New York Game Awards. That's really cool. Thank you to the New York Video Game Critics Circle and for all the hard work you do for homie students as well. Thank you to all the people who play the game and send love our way for the soundtrack. We're really thankful for all of it. So yeah, again, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Congrats, that is one pounding soundtrack, and they look so good together, don't they? We are so pleased to have this next musician with us. Mike Fernatal has played with everyone of note on the Lower East Side and beyond. The Left Bank, The Monks, Washington Squares, Tom Clark, Handsome Dick Manitoba, Murderer's Row, Loser's Lounge, Bubble. You should all know these bands. He's a musicologist who's written terrific album liner notes, and he produced the album garage rock classics. Here to play 2 really cool songs, one of which will make me cry, and one for Phil Spencer that you probably know well, is Mike Fertital. Mike, come on up. Come on up, Mike. So as Mike sets up, just want to know what was your favorite game this year? What did you like? Shout it out. Elden Ring. What else? Oh, that's a good one. What else? Immortality was awesome. Wait, yell, huh? Come on, yell. I can't hear you. Oh, someone said Melee. Come on, man. That's Metroid. It's all Nintendo, man. All right, so let it loose for Mike Fertital one more time. We're going to sit down.
So 13 years ago, I got a message from a band that was reforming, who had last played together in 1960s. And they weren't going to have their lead singer, so they asked me to sing for them. So Harold thought that it would be great if I came here and played this song that none of you know, that was recorded before any of your parents were born. So he said they'll love it. So you wouldn't want to disappoint Harold. This is a song by the Left Bank. You might know this one. Thank you so much.
Mike, thank you so much, man. You rock as always. And now for our Andrew Yoon Legend Award. Andrew was an early Circle member who was not only a journalist, he was making a card game called Divorce the Game, which eventually came out. But then Andrew died tragically in a swimming accident. So we miss him, and we named our Legend Award after Andrew. Reggie, let's begin.
So it's time now to honor an incredible person who has done and continues to do so much for the games industry. My friend, Phil Spencer. I really got to know Phil as he stepped into the leadership role for Xbox in 2014. And whether it was at industry events or trade association meetings, we found ourselves talking about the challenges the industry faced and how our respective companies thought about addressing these issues. And we talked about the importance of culture in organizations and the power of having a range of different perspectives to solve complex problems. Over time, the conversations became more personal, about family and future aspirations. Throughout this time, Phil has been a champion. Yes, a champion for great games, experiences, and communities, but also a champion for bringing games to more people across the world and bringing positive change to the broad gaming industry. Here's more about our Andrew Yoon Legend Award winner, Phil Spencer, including 2 previous Legend winners.
As an industry, we are most powerful when we come together, united by our common love for the art form of games.
I think as far as video game CEOs are concerned, when Phil Spencer says that he likes video games or that he plays them, I actually believe him.
What is there to say about Phil Spencer? He's the ultimate start from the bottom, now we're here story. Goes to Microsoft in 1988 as an intern, working on things like Encarta. Remember CD-ROMs? Yeah, those used to be a thing.
Phil Spencer has spent almost 35 years working at Microsoft on products as varied as Encarta and Phantom Dust. But of course, it's over the past decade or so that he has truly made his influence felt across the entire game industry.
What I appreciate about Phil Spencer is that he thinks like a gamer. If something isn't up to expectations, he's willing to admit it and do what he can to make things right.
One thing I really like about Phil Spencer now that I'm learning more and more as a student is that when you get into the industry, you very quickly learn that a lot of the bigwigs, as I would say, don't really play games. But Phil Spencer, he knows what he's talking about.
His mission is to bring video games, interactive entertainment, to anyone and everyone on the planet who might be interested in them. His tenure at Microsoft has been defined by that project, to bring video games to more and more people.
Through it all, he's always been a loud, passionate champion for gamers. Not just for the gamers, for the people who create games.
Whether you hear stories of him playing Ultima Online back in the day, or him showing up on stage in a Battletoads shirt, there was just something about the energy that he brought and the energy and excitement that he brought with him everywhere he went, and there was just like, wait a minute, is the person in charge of Xbox actually a gamer?
Since we're here tonight honoring Phil Spencer, it would be great if we could say that he kind of invented the metaverse. Now, we can't really say that, but he was instrumental in Microsoft's acquisition of Minecraft, which is really kind of a proto-metaverse. Now that happened way back in 2014 for $2.5 billion. And you may not believe this now, but back in 2014, $2.5 billion was actually kind of a lot of money. The legacy of Minecraft at Microsoft and Phil Spencer is all about unifying platforms. It's about honoring creation and persistent universes.
He brought like a new energy back to Microsoft and back to Xbox.
Halo is one of the most iconic franchises in gaming history. Master Chief is one of the most recognizable characters on the planet. I mean, who doesn't have stories of playing Halo in their dorm room all throughout college?
But the Xbox business that Phil Spencer built, it's all about respecting players and respecting creators.
Community has always been the foundation of any gaming console. Phil Spencer and Xbox have always continued to innovate that field. And no better is that seen, in my opinion, than the creation of the adaptive controller.
And of course, arguably Spencer's most successful initiative has been Xbox Game Pass, which has completely changed the way people consume games.
I would not be as big of a Monster Hunter fan as I am to this day, if not for it being on Game Pass come 2018. So I'm of course thankful that Phil Spencer is the reason for a lot of what Game Pass has to offer.
We had an Xbox at home when I was growing up, and my brother basically never let me play it. We'd been in an all Nintendo family before that, and Xbox really changed the game for us. Without Halo, there wouldn't be a legacy of taunting your enemies with a very, very specific taunt involving tea.
What is the legacy of Minecraft and Phil Spencer's acquisition of it? I just heard that Minecraft videos have been streamed more than 1 trillion times on YouTube. It's essentially open, it's cross-platform, it's an antidote to the walled garden ecosystems that everyone else spends all their time trying to build.
Phil Spencer has always kept one thing clear. Gaming is supposed to bring us together, not push us apart. And that's why he's deserving of this Lifetime Achievement Award.
You may know Phil from Minecraft, Halo, and Forza, but he's been involved and created so many more games. And tonight I want to congratulate him on earning his Yoon Legend Award this year.
Combined, these programs have reduced Microsoft's reliance on selling boxes that cost hundreds of dollars just so people can play games, and they've reduced people's barrier to entry in order to get into video games.
Phil, I went down this awesome rabbit hole when researching your early life, and I found that you grew up in a really small town called Ridgefield, Washington, and you played soccer there and were a Sputter, which is kind of the character of all things sports in Ridgefield. And I also noticed that Sputter character is a lot like Sal Sputter in Cuphead, so I just wondered if someone from the Cuphead team was actually growing up in Ridgefield or it was a coincidence. But I wondered if it was that small town essence that led you to stay so long at Microsoft. Maybe it was a loyalty that maybe you only get in small towns these days.
Congratulations, Phil. It is great to see you being honored in this well-deserved way with this award. I've worked in the same circles as Phil for roughly 20 years, and in that time, I can tell you he has always been a man of his word, a very outstanding character, and someone who believes deep down in doing what's right for games and gamers and developers all around the world. So I want to say thank you to Phil for all your years of hard work and support. And I'll tell you one little story. I once tweeted about Judas Priest. Well, I many times have tweeted about Judas Priest, but once I did it, and within seconds, Phil Spencer replied with another reference to Judas Priest. And so what that tells you is, first of all, Phil Spencer is following me on Twitter. And secondly, Phil Spencer is an unapologetic metalhead, which is all you need to know about him. Trustworthy to the core. So with that being said, congratulations, Phil.
Hi, Todd Howard here at Bethesda Game Studios. I want to congratulate you, Phil, on the Andrew Yoon Legend Award. So well deserved for all you do and all you've done for the billions of gamers around the world and those of us who create the games. So it's really not just a congratulations on behalf of everybody in the industry.
It's a thank you.
Thank you so much for all you've done for us, Phil, and I know there are bigger and better things ahead for you and Xbox, and I can't wait to see them, and more importantly, play them.
Congratulations on the Legend Award, Phil.
So thank you, Phil, for 30 plus years at Microsoft, always thinking about the next big thing, and congratulations on your award.
Congratulations, Phil Spencer, on earning this Legend Award.
I'm more than happy to say congratulations to Phil Spencer for winning the Legend Award. You full well deserve it.
Phil, congratulations on receiving the Andrew Yoon Legend Award.
Thank you, Phil!
But I think also there is a trend with our Legend Awards. It's certainly, like Reggie, there's an empathy you have. You talk a lot about joy in games and wanting the consumer to have pure fun while playing. So I think that all goes back maybe to that small town feeling, that you have an empathy in you, like Reggie does, like some of our other Legend Awards winners have. So perhaps that's part of the reason, in addition to being a smart businessman, is why you have thrived at Microsoft. Whatever the case, it's been decades, and there have been so many games, as our interns have pointed out, and our members have pointed out. So I just wanted to say, Phil, congratulations on getting our Andrew Yoon Legend Award. Enjoy it, and enjoy your continued tenure at Microsoft.
So please give a big New York welcome to my good friend, Phil Spencer.
Woo.
Thank you. This award is particularly meaningful given the awesome history of previous recipients, many of whom have been sources of inspiration, feedback, camaraderie along the journey of my career. I know I speak on behalf of all of us when I say that the 2021 and 2022 recipients of the Andrew Yoon Legend Award have given us so much joy over our lifetimes, and certainly their work sustained us all through the pandemic. I feel sad that we weren't able to celebrate in the room together, so please join me now in finally celebrating them in person, us here in person, Hideo Kojima, Jerry Lawson, Brenda and John Romero, and Tim Schafer. There have been so many moments of wonder in my career, and certainly this great honor of receiving the Andrew Yoon Legend Award is one of them. My sincere thank you to the New York Critics Circle, to my team, my family, and all of you. And most of all, every single player around the world who has found joy in what all of us here do, building worlds for others to discover and delight in. I've been working in the gaming industry for a long time, and well before that, I was a player and a fan of games. Back in those days, as a kid, we would save up every penny from our allowance to buy a new game that we probably chose based on the picture on the front of the box. We knew that this was going to be the one game we got to play for the next 6 months, maybe even a year. We hoped we picked the right one, because we were all about to get to know that game extremely well. With that one precious game, you were all invited into a new world that was created with groundbreaking engineering work, innovative artistic vision from the game designers and developers behind that cartridge. Holding that cartridge for the first time was a rush of excitement and anticipation, and playing it, pure and utter joy. Not just because we owned a cool thing, but because of the experiences we would have with that game and the community. We didn't just play with family and friends. We talked about it, obsessed over it, we laughed about it, and sometimes cried over it, reliving our best and worst moments together. Gaming was and is about this very echo effect of joy. Today, there are so many games, more than ever before, available to more players than ever before. But also, it can feel like there is more despair in the world, a steady stream of bad news. With the ongoing leapfrogging from crisis to crisis, it feels to me that that joy I experienced as a child has become much more elusive for us, for all to find. More of a guilty pleasure. It feels like today, seeking joy is an act of defiance. Yet today as creators, as leaders, as world builders, our greatest responsibility is to inspire and invite joy. Each one of the hundreds of titles that players have at their fingertips today and tomorrow is a calling card for joy. Halo, God of War, Vampire Survivors, Peppa the Pig, big games, small games, mobile games, indie games, each one is designed to deliver an infusion of joy in the midst of our lives, to give us so much joy, people want to talk about it, to share it. We, all of us here today, all of our teams around the globe, we are all part of creating this echo effect of joy. Our creators who bravely and intentionally release their visions to the world, particularly in the current culture of criticism and cancellation. Our players who bravely and intentionally carve out time for our games to invite, rest, and rejuvenate their lives. And business leaders, we are called upon to have the courage to protect and nurture this collective joy. We are called on to incubate these experiences, create them, and grow them, to seek and surround ourselves with a multitude of perspectives, to honor our differences across experiences and geographies, and to practice empathy when intentionally listening to others. We turn away from dividing players and creators and instead towards each other as we advance and amplify joy together. This is the echo effect of gaming joy. Thank you for this honor tonight, and thank you all for making the brave choice to put joy in the world. Thank you.
Thank you again, Phil. Such a cool man, and I'm so happy to have you here on this stage with us. I know everybody is truly honored to be in your presence, and if anybody deserves this Legend Award this year, it is you. So congrats again. So I know everybody in the audience is excited for Game of the Year, but we have two important new awards this year before we get to the big one, okay? All of our awards have New York-centric names. So we have Chumley's, which was a hidden speakeasy in the Village. Here's the Chumley Speakeasy Award for Best Hidden Game, and here to present it is comedian Gabe Malika. Gabe is actually Gabe's one-man play solo is a New York Times Critics Pick and is now running at the Soho Playhouse. Please give it up again for Gabe Malika.
Hey everybody, how we doing? We're good? Hell yeah. First of all, Reggie, if you need a PS5, I got a guy.
I got a PS5. I need an Xbox.
You need an Xbox? Okay.
And I know a guy.
That's good. My guy's in Suffolk County outside of Chili's, but if you got cash and a Mad Catz controller, he can hook you up. Thank you for having me. I'm doing a show off Broadway right now called Solo. It's a show about not having any friends. So they're like, you want to come to Video Game Awards? I was like, these are my people. I'm happy to be here. Most of the show is about how I play Discord every night with my buddies, and I don't know anything about them. My mom was like, oh my God, you talk to Nick every night. Nick's sister just had a baby. How does Nick feel about being an uncle? And I was like, what? How does Nick feel? I know how he feels about Star Fox. I know how he feels about Pokemon Snap. But I don't know any of the other stuff. I'm very excited to announce the nominees for this next award. This is the Hidden Gem Award, and I relate to that a lot because I'm a comedian with an off-Broadway show, and none of you have heard of me. And you're all well-dressed, so nobody's getting a promo code. The nominees for the Best Hidden Gem are...
A Memoir Blue. Norco. Patrick's Parabox. Perfect Tides. Signalis. Strange Horticulture. The Case of the Golden Idol. Wayward Strand.
And the winner is La La Land. No, I'm just kidding. It's Signalis.
Hi everyone, I'm Sun here on behalf of Humble Games and Rose Engine. The Rose Engine team were a bit shy to accept the award themselves, so here's their message. Thank you so much for the award. We are deeply honored and humbled that Signalis has struck a chord with so many people. We would like to thank our friends who have supported us so much throughout the years. Thank you to our publisher Humble Games, our musicians, and our partners that helped with the release, and everyone who has played Signalis. Thank you.
Thanks, Son. There's so, when we announced the nominees for that award, there's just an outpouring of yeah, Signalis on Twitter. So it was, I guess it was fate. We haven't done a downloadable content award before, but those wonderful add-ons are often deep and compelling as the original game. So now here's our new award, the NYC GWB Award for Best DLC. It is presented by a man who's been blocked on Twitter by anyone who's anybody, Matt Negrin from The Daily Show. He's also known as the Goose.
Nobody remembers me without the Goose costume, I guess. I'm here to present Best DLC because I am such a fan of DLC. Not just in gaming, but the DLC that exists in the world all around us. When you think about it, a DLC is a room in your house that you didn't know was there. It's a friend of a friend who sometimes is better than the original friend. It's finding out you have a 3-day weekend because of Martin Luther King. It's a second term for a president you don't hate. It's Puerto Rico. And it's the 100% completion achievement, but for video game developers. That's why I'm such a big fan of DLC. Downloadable content. Should probably just be called DC. But why is that extra L in there? That's DLC, baby. The nominees for Best DLC are...
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dawn of Ragnarok. Bug Snacks, The Isle of Big Snacks. Destiny 2: The Witch Queen. Microsoft Flight Simulator, Top Gun Maverick DLC. Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Tombs of the Fallen.
And the winner is Destiny 2: The Witch Queen.
Hey all, my name is Blake Battle and I'm the project lead for Destiny 2: The Witch Queen. It is an honor to accept this award on behalf of the teams at Bungie, and we really wish we could be there with you tonight. As a lover of pizza, I feel incomplete that I've never been to the birthplace of the world's definitive slice. Like New York's pizza, Destiny 2 has become the world's definitive FPS action MMO, and The Witch Queen, an example of Bungie's ability to deliver a first-in-class gameplay experience with a story that continues the promise of a meaningful, evolving universe. First, I'd like to thank the teams at Bungie. While it's just me accepting this award, there are hundreds of people across dozens of disciplines that bring the best of themselves every day to create this experience for our players. Second, I'd like to thank the New York Game Awards for the recognition this evening, as well as for the good causes you support and stand for. And finally, I'd like to thank our players. The soul of Destiny is in the communities that you build around it, and your love of the game is what inspires us to bring more of it to you every year. We are not going anywhere, and we plan to inspire generations of Guardians to come. And do not forget, in a little over 1 month from today, on February 28th, Destiny 2 Lightfall, the penultimate chapter in the Light and Darkness saga, goes live. With humanity's backs against the wall, it is definitely one of our most exciting rides yet. It's a great time to return to Destiny or pick it up for the first time. We'll see you Starside Guardians. Thank you.
So, now it's time for the big one. And my body is ready. How about yours, Harold?
My body is ready too, Reggie. Audience, is your body ready? Critic Circle critics, can you come up to the stage? Come on up.
So it's tradition for the newest member of the circle to present the Big Apple Award for Game of the Year. So here's Adam Siddiqui from Gaming Access Weekly and IGN. Adam, there you are. When you're ready, can you please do the honors?
Hello everyone. The stand among legends is quite nervous. But the Game of the Year is one of the most prestigious honors that a game can achieve. And while each one of these games deserve that award, there can only be one. It's unfortunate, but it is the truth. And the nominations are...
A Plague Tale: Requiem. Cult of the Lamb. Elden Ring. God of War: Ragnarok. Immortality. Pentiment. Vampire Survivors. Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
And the Big Apple Award for Best Game of the Year goes to Elden Ring.
Hi again. This is amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you so much to the New York Video Game Critics Circle for the 2023 Big Apple Game of the Year Award. We want to dedicate this to our very talented friends at From Software, as well as our colleagues at Bandai Namco.
It's an honor to receive this prestigious award, and from an organization that not only recognizes the best in our medium, but helps move it forward, mentoring young students, some of whom might be standing up here someday, accepting this very same award. So thank you, Harold. Thank you, New York Game Awards, for your efforts.
My thanks. Finally, all the pieces are in place. This is mine, all mine.
So that's about it, just about a wrap. Congratulations to all of the winners and nominees. What a stellar night. But don't forget to donate at NewYorkGamesCritics.com.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And Ronald and Isaac, you got to go out there because they have a couple of buckets. Those who had free tickets to the show, college students, throw a couple of bucks out there as you leave. I had a great time tonight. But please do drop a couple of bucks in the buckets. And Makita.
Thank you all so much. We'll see you all next year and have an awesome 2023.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. So those of you who have tickets to the after party, you can head out there now. Those of you who don't, thank you for coming to the show. For our legend winners, Phil, can you come up here? Todd, you want to come up here? We'll all take a picture together. And also, if you're a nominee, after Phil and Reggie and Makita and Todd and I take a picture, if you're a nominee, come up and it'd be great to get your picture as well. Great. Take a picture with these guys?
Yes.
Great.
Awards that weren't accepted into the agreement?
Yeah, can you put them in my piece of luggage? It's a big piece of luggage. The only big one. Thanks, sure.